excited at the start of the year about the quite aggressive stimulus credit impulses that we were seeing in China, but it hasn't really impacted on the real economy. It's mostly been going into financial assets. The Shanghai property market has been absolutely flying.
If the question is, who is the winner? I think my answer is none. Probably Russia is the winner.
The future for steel in our world, particularly because our world is focused on the developed markets, is one of electric arc furnaces. It is one of recycling, and it is one of recycling using a sustainable and renewable energy source.
At the beginning of this year, the consensus forecast for Chinese steel demand growth was about 1%, which reflecting the concern about the impact of trade war and the housing market collapse.
We focus on helping companies to think about the future, to think about uncertainty. And the interesting thing is that, I see the following year in mining and metals as being one of continued uncertainty. It doesn't matter if we're talking about the political situation or we're talking about how miners can develop trust, which is the next source of competitive advantage. And one way to really reduce uncertainty is to understand where other people are seeing challenges, to understand where they're viewing opportunity in the future, and to come together as an industry in order to develop solutions. I think it would be really great to be a part of MM Steel and sort of understand where others are seeing challenges, where they're seeing opportunities, and really come together as an industry to find new solutions and think about the future. So I'd be interested in attending if that was an opportunity.
The signal sent by the yield curve is not as pure as before, but it is a strong signal, and that's the reason why market participants are nervous.
There is so many problems out there that we all know. Of course, there is a China-US trade war, there is anti-dumping measures out there is Brexit, but I find the major challenge is the currency.
The anti-competition forces in the world of diplomats is not going to allow the resolution of this problem. Business leaders and business people have to solve the carbon problem.
Worked in the metals industry for just over 20 years now. I was working in several ferroalloy production companies, and the last 10 years I've run my own small consulting company focused on market analysis in ferroalloys. I would see 2019 as a fairly difficult year, I would say, in the steel and alloy markets. I think though that towards the end of the year things may get better and we'll see a better 2020, but certainly in the European steel market right now is pretty tough.
Yeah, challenges going forward for Nordic Iron are to redevelop some old mines there and raise capital to build the mine and get it into operation. So those are our challenges in this coming year: conclude our feasibility study and raise capital. So all of these conferences and such like, it's getting all the tools together to be able to look at the commercial aspects, look at the futures market for the commodities, and carry out the right kind of commercial and investor related issues.
Grupo Cuprum is a Mexican aluminum company dedicated to supply aluminum components for the construction, building and construction, industrial, and the automotive market segments. Also, we have a ladder business located in Canada and in the US and Mexico, and a flat product business. We see a very interesting year. We have been struggling with the uncertainty that the macroeconomic environment is right now. We are following very deep the progress of the USMCA, the economic treaty between Canada, US, and Mexico. That we are expecting, and we are that this treaty fully is agree and finish and completed. Because we believe that the interchange of goods between these countries, including steel and aluminum, will be very important to progress in the industry sector. We also foresee challenges in the local area in Mexico, local market, because we have a new president, and every time a new president comes with his ideas and his politics, there's always a caution and uncertainty from the investments. So with these two challenges we are having, but we still see a very good year so far. And also we have found an opportunity in the industrial market with the aluminum structural components for automotive parts. We have seen the increase of the usage of the aluminum structural components, and we have been targeting very deeply the market of the automotive products for bumpers, chassis, and battery boxes, battery containers in the new electrification of cars. And that's one of our main strategies to keep growing in this segment. So I highly recommend to be part of the Steel Club. We're looking forward to be part of the Metal Club as a Cuprum company.
China is investing heavily in developing its domestic internal markets. We're seeing this pretty much impacting on particularly European exports to China, which have been very weak. That's obviously having a big impact on Germany. We see now metals consumption across all the industrial metals in Europe being incredibly weak.
One first was the demonization of diesels, and nobody wants to drive a diesel anymore. And of course that's very difficult, because you cannot just convert a machine from making diesels to making gas engines overnight. And the next thing was actually by September last year, the introduction of WLTP, a new way of measuring CO2 rates. And that disrupted the whole German industry big time.
I personally feel the American economy is not as healthy as people think. If unemployment rate is low, if the economy is doing well, why Trump is pushing the interest rate to go down?
I run a team out of Chicago, which is financing 60 companies right now, manage a whole team, and it's focused on companies looking to grow in North America, international companies with the US presence, and helping companies, everybody from mills, steel companies, trading firms, aluminum, steel, copper. 2018 was a great year to be in the steel space, and particularly in North America. And we had a phenomenal year financing companies, helping them grow their businesses. 2019 is a little bit more challenging, but we're having still a very good year on the BMO Metals side. The difference this year is a little bit more volatility downward on metals prices, which has made it challenging for some lenders. We've been able to step in and pick up some additional business. Working with your organization has been great, and it's a chance, an opportunity to attend more of these events with you and network at your events. I'm part of the BMO Financial Group, and that includes our investment bank, our commercial bank, metals trading desk, and for us, we're financing working capital needs for companies globally transitioning to the United States. I think look, companies are always going to need that. We're trying to grow our business, and we've done that successfully. And I think we've been awarded through business with our customers, and events like this are exceptional events. And with Steel Club, it's a great entity here and event that they've had, and I think we'd love to attend other events with them and network with people in that club.
The China China-US trade war is probably the biggest threat to the global economy.
But I don't see that that moving to electric cars is going to decimate the world steel industry.
But how quickly can you stimulate new supply? The quickest new supply that you can stimulate is basically China.
The biggest winner in the US-China trade war is likely to be Russia.
I think that steel has still a role to play in the automotive industry for the next at least 30 years. What happens after that? I don't know.